What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you with some Destiny, and it's the first day of Iron Banner, so I've been kind of messing around a little bit in the Crucible. Just thought I would give you guys a quick update, and actually wanted to give you guys, if you're some players worried about maybe trying out this Iron Banner, some quick tips, really quick here. Now, obviously, the new max level is 34, so a lot of people I see on the forums and on Reddit are kind of freaking out, saying, "Oh, there's 2 more max levels. You know, I'm not going to be able to compete as well." It's absolute nonsense. Don't worry about it. Most people know in Iron Banner, the power difference doesn't really matter. And I kind of goofed around on my level 29 Hunter. I had just finished the Queen's Wrath missions. As this level 29, I really didn't want to do much Iron Banner with my Hunter. I was going to wait till later in the week after I'd already played with my Warlock, who's 32. But I kind of wanted to just see how much of a difference there would be, because in Trials of Osiris, if you're a 34 or a 32, there's a huge difference, and you get just absolutely slaughtered with just that 2-level difference. Iron Banner is not the case. Now, I remember back when the max level was 32, I actually went into the Iron Banner before this with my Hunter on Xbox, who was only level 28, thinking I was going to not do so great against the level 32s. And I still managed to do just fine. I actually carried several teams full of 32s, went positive most matches. Now for this Iron Banner, I wanted to see what the difference was going to be. So I went in on my level 29 Hunter, thinking I was going to get absolutely mauled by these level 34s. The first match I got into, I think the other team had 5 34s and a 33, and I was a 29 on my team. And I actually had the second best KD on my team, so it's not that bad. It's really not. You will notice a little bit of a damage difference going up against the higher levels, but for the most part, it's not really a big problem, especially if you are an accurate shot. In Iron Banner, precision shots are always going to carry you a little bit better if you are an accurate player with scout rifles, with hand cannons, things like that. The ability to land a lot of headshots is really going to win you a lot of gunfights. Now, I just did the daily bounty today. There's a control bounty to do 5 control matches, so I just went ahead and played Iron Banner. And you can see I'm already rank 1, moving through. I'm at 372 out of 1200. I'm on my way up to rank 2. This character I'm probably not going to play as much as we go through the week until later on, because that buff is going to kick in where you get a ton of extra reputation later on in the week. But that having been said, so far, I have not really seen too much of a problem going up against the higher levels. Now, so far, my KD in Iron Banner on this character alone on my Hunter is 1.18, and that's playing as a level 29 -5 to most of the top players. So, not really, don't be intimidated, guys. Still run in there. If you're decent at PvP, you can still do very well in Iron Banner. You can still, compete and do pretty good. And let me even show you guys, I have absolutely garbage gear right now. You can see I have one exotic helmet, which is the ATS 8 Arachnid, which sucks. It's one of the worst Hunter exotics. The golden gun zooms in for accuracy. That completely screws up your golden gun aiming and firing rhythm with it. But other than that, I've got all blues. I think this was a drop from the Cryptarch. I got this in the Crucible, and then this was, I think I got this during the Queen's Wrath quest. So I don't have good gear hardly at all. I've been actually using Fang of Ur-Yut for most of this. I love this scout rifle. This thing is really awesome. In PvP, it's got third eye on it, which really is helpful, especially if you are a lower level, for getting those engagements to go in your favor. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a couple of quick things. You can see I do have the 4th Horseman. I haven't used this yet. I got this from the Prison of Elders, actually, my first time through on this character at level 28. But you can see, guys, I don't hardly have any gear. The only heavy I have is the Queen's Rocket Launcher. It does have tracking, but it doesn't track very well. I'm basically having to dumb fire this to try to get kills with it, but doing okay so far. But, just to give you guys some really quick tips for this Iron Banner if you're going in as a lower level, if you're going in as a newer player. The first thing is really, you guys just know your maps. Know where the choke points are. And what I would say is definitely know which flags. Like, a lot of the time the B flag and whatever map you're on is going to wind up being the kill zone. That's where everybody's going to congregate, because usually everybody will cap A and C real quick, and then everybody rushes to B, and it's a mad fight at B to see who can get control of it. And that's usually where you're going to see a lot of your kills taking place. It's going to be a crossfire zone. If you run in there while trying to be a hero, you're going to get slaughtered. You're going to get gunned down pretty quick, especially with this Iron Banner. Everyone's using Hawkmoon, Thorn, the exotic hand cannons, which are just 2 to 3 hit kills most of the time. You're going to get gunned down. So my number one suggestion I always tell everybody who's trying to struggle or kind of struggling with PvP is just play a little bit more patient. Slow down your pace. Let your teammates, and I hate to say use your teammates as guinea pigs, but let them go ahead. Stay with the pack, but stay a little bit further behind. Let them draw the initial fire. You can go in and clean up or provide support from the back. It's there's no shame. Because the thing is, when you're playing Iron Banner, even if you're lower level, as long as you're not getting killed a lot, you're contributing. And even if you may be last on the team in your overall score, as long as you have a positive KD, you're contributing more than, let's say there's a guy ahead of you who has more score, but he's like a 0.57 KD, but you went like 1.2. You obviously he might have had a higher score, but he died so many times it was more detrimental to the team. So as long as you're going positive and you playing well and not hurting the team, that's all that you want to go for. So just play patient, know your map locations, know your flag spawns, know everything in terms of where your kill zones are, where your choke points are, and stay out of those areas. If you get into an encounter, just be patient. If you know it's going to be 3-on-1, then run. There's no shame in running away from a 3-on-1. Don't try to be a hero. This is not Call of Duty where you can walk out and do a hail of gunfire and mow down 4 or 5 guys on your own with a sliver of health left. If you go up in Iron Banner especially, or in Crucible against 2-on-1, you're going to get killed. You're just not, unless you're just an expert, very good, awesome player, most of the time you're going to lose that situation. And my other suggestion would be to have a good weapon, or try to have a good weapon for every map. If I'm going into a long range map or more open map, I tend to stick with scout rifles or slower firing pulse rifles. Now, Feng It or You, the one reason I do like this pulse rifle is it has a very fast fire rate. So you can actually use this a little bit more on the smaller maps. I was using this on Anomaly, actually, and surprised at how well I was doing with it. And I've also got this other scout rifle, High Road Soldier, which you can see has a little bit of a faster fire rate than Feng It or You. A fast-firing scout rifle can be used at close range as long as you can land enough headshots with it. But then also, I also like to use the hand cannons for those mid-range maps. For close-range maps, I usually will go with the last word because, unfortunately, as much as I hate using this gun, everybody else is doing it, and you want to be competitive. Sometimes you have to use that exotic, that gun that everybody thinks is overpowered. And like I said, I'm a hunter right now, don't have the best gear, but still managing to do pretty good. Then on the other hand, if it's a close range map, make sure you've got a decent shotgun with good range. Now, obviously, if you have Fellwinter's Live, then you're all set. That's what everybody seems to be using still. If it's a longer range map, you may want to go with a faster firing sniper rifle if that's what you're good with, or even a fusion rifle that you can charge up ahead of time and know, like I said, that's where map knowledge is going to come in handy, knowing your radar, things like that. So definitely just, slow it down, guys, play patient. Have good weapons. Have a weapon for each map. That's the one thing you can do when you're playing normal Crucible is just practice and find out what weapons work for you best on which maps. Like I said, work on your accuracy. That's going to be a big thing, especially in Iron Banner. The more headshots you can land, the more gunfights you're going to win, because that is the quickest way to take people down, no matter what weapon you're using. One thing I like to do to practice my accuracy, I actually will go to Mars and find an area where there's a lot of the Cabal phalanxes, because they have that one little spot that you can hit to get them to drop that big shield, and that's where I practice a lot of the times for my hand cannons. Is I go on that and try to get lots of. I try to basically do a 2-tap method where I'll shoot them in the hand with their gun, get them to drop their shield, and then headshot them. And just practice, but whatever works for you guys. Just find a way to practice. And the number one thing I have found really helps me is just don't get frustrated. There are going to be bad games. You're going to play bad. It's the Crucible. That's the nature of it. It's not balanced very well. You're going to be on the wrong side of some really lopsided matches sometimes, and that just is going to happen. I went into Iron Banner today. The first match I played, I went like 2.75, and then 2 matches later, I went like 0.79. So it's going to balance itself out, but you are going to have bad matches. You're going to have good matches. But just when you have a bad match, what I like to do, try different guns, just goof around. If it's pretty clear you're going to be playing bad that match, then just try different things. Screw around a little bit, see if maybe you can't find another method that gets you kills. And, just like I said, stay patient. Don't rush in, because the more you rush, the more you're going to die most of the time. Now, a lot of people can play aggressive. There's a lot of really good aggressive players out there. They go with hand cannons like Last Word. They use shotguns. They use close range, Vex Mythoclast. But if you don't have any of those weapons, you really are not going to be doing yourself any favors by trying to play up close and aggressive. So I've always found, especially with my own personal play style, it just is much more effective to play a little bit slower, play a little bit longer range, let people come to me, I don't force encounters. You know, don't force an encounter, especially if it's not in your favor. If you know somebody's corner camping with a shotgun, then don't go in there. Don't go in the room. You know, make them come to you. Eventually, if you're patient, they will crack and they will try to come after you, and you'll now have the advantage. So, like I said, don't get frustrated. Play patient. That is probably the best tip I've ever personally gotten myself in PvP. I used to be really bad at PvP, as I've told people multiple times on my videos. I started off when I first started playing Crucible, I was like a 0.30 KD on my Titan. On Xbox, I was horrendous at this game. I was trying to run around and rush like a madman and play it like Call of Duty. You just can't do it. It's a different monster. You know, it helps to get certain weapons. It helps to have certain abilities like Third Eye a lot of the times in PvP, but you just have to really know your maps. You have to really know your layouts and your locations. You have to know your choke points, and you have to know what weapons really suit your playstyle and suit your, you know, what are going to help you out better. So play patient, learn your maps, guys. Just, you know, try to have fun with it, and definitely you can enjoy the Iron Banner just like everybody else. And it's really worth it this week, obviously, if you're a PvE player, because you have the etheric light that's available. So definitely, you definitely want to stick it out. Try to get that etheric light. If you're having problems getting on LFG or anywhere else and getting into the in-game content, you can at least get some etheric light from Iron Banner. As much as I hate the fact you have to play PvP to actually acquire it, it is one way to do it, and Iron Banner is not as intimidating or as difficult as a lot of people make it out to be. So if you're thinking about it, give it a try. And like I said, try to use some of the tips I gave you. Try to play patient and just enjoy it. You know, there's some good gear that you can get from it. And the Crucible right now is dropping legendaries like hotcakes. I played 5 matches earlier, and in 4 of the 5, at least 2 legendaries dropped for guys on both teams. So definitely, if you're really looking to get some gear, that's another way to go. But definitely, guys, you can still compete in Iron Banner even if you're a couple levels below level cap, as long as you're, you know, playing your play style and you're not letting people get you flustered and go for those headshots. So, anyways, guys, been Techno Viking 23. This video ran a little bit longer than I wanted, but hopefully this gave you guys some helpful advice if you're struggling with Iron Banner or just thinking about playing it. I hope you found this helpful. That's going to do it for me, guys. I'll have another video later in the week updating on Iron Banner. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again next time.